What's up, Joe? How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Last we chatted, your partner Chelsea was inquiring of what a particular kind of instrument was that somebody in an Irish pub was playing, and I told her it was a mandolin, and she replied, "Interesting," as if she was doubtful. I'm like, it's what it is. That's it. There. How was the trip? You went to Dublin. For those that don't know, Joe just jetted off to Dublin this weekend.
Yeah, it was great. It was amazing. It was I wish I had, $4,000 lying around every once in a while that I could just jet off for
Right.
I probably wouldn't need $4,000. I just made that thing up. But it was great. To go for a weekend, to leave on a Thursday night and come back on a Monday, and just to see a place and pack everything in as much as you can while I have the energy to do it. It was remarkable. It was great.
Good for you, man. And like, even if it's not Dublin or whatever, I love that idea of pack things in while you got the energy to do it. I think, I've talked about it a fair amount on the show, but my mother passed away of cancer at 59, and watching her go through that, like, that makes me think of, like, there's a lot of sad things it makes me think of, but it does excite me to go, we got one shot, and there will come a moment where none of it matters. None of it will, because you're going to be gone. You're going to be done. So may as well live it up while you got it, And I think there's a balance there. You could go crazy, but there is a balance,
It probably wasn't like the most smart. It probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. But it was one of those moments where it was like, okay, here's an opportunity. It probably doesn't really work in for this month, but if the opportunity's there, just you go ahead and take it.
Just go for it, man.
Yeah, and it was fun. And Raleigh, my stepdaughter, was really excited to be there and stay with and see us and stuff. Even though I think she's coming home today, but although we're jetting out today as well. So.
And you're all right. Well, hang on, I got more questions. So I've never been, but everybody says the Guinness in Ireland is different than the Guinness in America. Did you compare some? How's the beer?
Well, I mean, we went directly. I think we checked in to our hotel and we went directly to the Guinness storehouse, this huge brewery. It was like Irish Disneyland there. It was like music,
St. James Gate? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's right. St. James Gate. Yeah. So just like 7 floors of beer related stuff. It was a really great tour brewery. It was awesome. And the exhibits were fantastic. But it was like Irish Disneyland. That's basically what it was,
Okay.
So
it sounds good to me.
When you start there, it's you think, oh, the rest of the weekend's just going to be music and dancing and and fiddles and all this stuff, and that's not really what it's like. But yeah, it was a good place to start. I wouldn't say that it's like the Guinness is terribly different, or the like. I don't think so. I don't think it's that. I think we kind of caught up since they've
shared the recipe with their own brand of their stuff. Yeah,
it tastes the same. It's not like, wow, this is miles better. I mean, it may seem better because you're in a place where it's like where everybody's drinking it, but yeah, no, it didn't taste any different. It was just great to be there. But I did drink a lot of that particular.
You had a lot of Guinness.
Yes. Yeah.
I like some Guinness. It gets a little heavy, but I also like. I learned a neat trick one time because on St. Patrick's Day, it's a long haul, and we used to play these gigs. Like, we would have breakfast gigs all the way to like 2 a.m. Like, we would play like 18, 20 hours on St. Patrick's Day at various gigs. And that takes a little stamina. Like, you got to plan for that. That's you're not exactly anyway, that was a weird thing I was gonna say. So, but one thing I learned you can order their non-alcoholic is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But then if you get the bartender to just float like the actual stuff, just make the head the actual Guinness, man, you could go all day on those and be in a pretty happy place. So like, I would get close to, too much, and then switch to those for, an hour or two on a set, and then you could go back. And I always that's a little trick I keep up.
It's actually Guinness I found is easier on my stomach actually than other beers. It's because it's, on the nitro thing, and it's just easier. It's easier drinking. It's lower alcohol, I think, really. It's like a 4.2 or whatever.
4.2,
so,
yeah.
So it's like a great, that was good. So this was going to be my one thing this week, is to talk about my trip to Dublin, it was we went to the Guinness place. We kind of were on a search for traditional Irish music, which was kind of a weird thing, because where we were staying in Dublin, it's just like a bustling city. That's what it is. It's just a city, and like when you conjure Ireland in your mind, you kind of think of like quaint small towns, but Dublin's this big city. Right?
Yeah, were you looking for thatched huts on the hillside?
Yes, yeah, exactly. Right? I'm looking for the quiet man, right? And like you, and after like a day or two, we were like, where is this place that we have in our mind? Like,
right.
And like the cab drivers, like, and it was weird kind of asking. And I always ask, like, I don't want to be offensive. Like, I don't want to be like, this place that I've made up in my brain.
I want to go there. Yeah. Where's that place?
Like it's like you guys are zoo animals, and I want to go to the zoo and observe this. Like, I don't want to come off that way.
Where's the authentic exhibit? Yeah. Don't give me this crap. I want the encounter. How do I get
So, but everybody was great. Nobody was offended by my questions of where's the where's let's get out of the city. But we did go out of the city to this coastal town, Howth. That was really gorgeous and beautiful. We went on a tour, like a boat out there. It was really great, beautiful little town. We went up to a castle, Malahide, that we took a tour of the castle. And then finally on Sunday in Malahide, this quaint little town, we found some traditional music, and that was fantastic. And then Raleigh had to leave, and we went to this pub that night that a cab driver told us about, and just the rest of the night, and it was Sunday. The rest of the night, we were just listening to traditional music, dancing. It was it was so great. It was so fun, and there was like an historic event that happened in Ireland while we were there, which
Did
is
they
like
bring the snakes back? St. Patrick was like, it's okay, it's over. Snakes, come on back.
No, there was they have like Gaelic football there. So like their Super Bowl was taking place on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which we did. I mean, we weren't aware of, we were just ignorant Americans coming into town. And it was taking place in Dublin. So the city was just abuzz with this Gaelic football thing. And there were two counties, each football team had like they came from a particular county in
the clubs,
in Ireland. Yeah. So one was from Kerry, which is like this dominant football team at the time. And there was another, it was Miro. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting it now. But they were like, they hadn't won like this game since in like 75 years.
Okay.
And then it was kind of like a curse. Like they are good, but they never win it all. And Mayo, that's what it is. Mayo, Mayo, because
Mayo,
people were throwing mayonnaise packets at the bar later that night. And there was like this curse, and like the last team that won this All Ireland match was like had died in this past year. So they were saying like, this is the curse is broken. This is Mayo's chance to win. And they were the underdogs and they won. And so everybody
Oh
was
man,
so
very
happy.
cool.
And the Dubliners there do not like the Cary folks either. So they were like really happy.
Yeah,
it was just a great atmosphere to be in. The music was fantastic. It was just it was so great. And then we went to Trinity College. We saw the Book of Kells, which is this illuminated Bible from, you know, the 1300s. It was fantastic. It was just so fun and so great. I just had a blast.
That's a very cool trip, man. I've, as you know, I spent some time in pubs, but never in Ireland. But two things about the sports: the Gaelic football. I remember it's kind of like Australian rules football, which is a twist on rugby. But one of the things that I like, if I remember correctly, and I probably am misstating a few of these facts, but the important fact I will get right. But there's like, so there's 3 posts, and if you score between the right 2 posts, the referee goes, boom, and he points at you with his right finger. And if you score on the left one, he goes, boom, and he points with you with his left finger. And if you score in the middle, he does this Yosemite Sam thing, and he points with you with both fingers. And I always, I never understood any of the rules, but I just wanted somebody to score so I could see the guy like pour his pistols. Man, that was something I always enjoyed.
It's do they go through training for that? I don't know. You know, is there a training program?
You know how like American umpires, like some of them are like strike, and then some of them are strike, you know, and so they all have like their own thing, you know, like they work it up kind of deal. So I enjoyed that. When you said, I hadn't thought about that when you said Gaelic football in a long time, like that. Like I didn't know what was going on in the game. I was just excited, like cheers and a beer when the ref just got going, you know. So I mean, like
you can't really pick up the rules when you just watch one game, and I just caught like a little bit of it. But I just loved being in the atmosphere. I mean, everybody was just, there were so many people who were just excited, and maybe that's just how the town is. I don't know. Now there's a pub every 20 feet there. It's absolutely crazy. And the other thing is that there are people just playing music on the street too, everywhere. Yeah. So it's like music, pub, dancing. Nobody's shy about it either. It's just shameless fun. It just seems great. It was such a great atmosphere. I just loved it.
Man, I gotta go. That'll be fun. If you get bored, just to maybe on the plane, you fire up your little Wi-Fi or whatever. And audience, you can have a fun time with this too. Check out, there's a sport called Irish hurling, not curling, hurling, Hurling. And it is like rugby, men's rugby meets field hockey. These dudes are running around with clubs, smacking the stuff out of a hard ball, and then like boom, shoulder right into the dude to charge over and go score. Like it's madness, man. It's the most violent game, and not because they're clubbing each other in the face, but this you know, softball of a ball that they're smacking around with clubs and then running each other over. It's if you're into mayhem of controlled sports that I guess they all do voluntarily, like it's a wild sport to watch, especially in a pub, man. Irish hurling.
What's weird? What I was saying about the people on the street playing, I guess it's called busking.
Yeah, you busk. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So one of the most famous buskers, then when we left there, there was that sad news of Glenn Hansard. Do you know?
Yeah, I saw that, man. Yeah.
And like I really liked his music, and it didn't connect with me when I was there. Like, oh, that's how he started, was busking on Grafton Street, which we stayed right by Grafton Street.
Oh, cool.
And we walked up Grafton Street a number of times because there was a lot of buskers on Grafton Street. It's every couple of blocks there was somebody playing music. And it clicked when I got back. I heard that sad news about Glenn Hansard. and terrific music. Like there's like a few of his songs that are my favorite songs, and I love listening to it. And he's got that old guitar that he's strummed a hole into the bottom of it, you know.
Willie Nelson style, yeah.
Like an amazing singer, the frontman for the Frames, and he was in that movie, the Commitments, and then he won an Oscar for that song "Falling Slowly," and for the Once is the movie, and then the subsequent musical that came after it.
Yeah,
but apparently he's just like a terrific human being. He does like a busking festival. I think he's like the main guy at this busking festival on Christmas, and all proceeds go to like the homeless in Dublin.
No, a big loss. I think a lot of the audience knows, but I played in an Irish band with a guy from Belfast for years, and he would always throw in some tunes of that guy Glenn Hansard, and I didn't know him personally whatsoever. I wasn't overly familiar with his music or him, but he was one of those guys that once I heard the news was passing, I'm like, let me check this out. And I'm like, oh, that's him. And I would hear another song, I'd be like, oh, that's that guy.
Right.
This is that guy. Yeah. And anyway, I haven't talked to Spade. I think Spade did know him, but I have to check and see. I have to talk to Spade and see what's up.
Yeah, one of my friends was actually opened for him on a tour a long time ago, and I tried to contact him, but I'm sure he's, I don't know. I haven't heard from him since yesterday.
Right.
So
yeah. You said in passing really quick, you mentioned the movie The Commitments. Man, if people are into a good rock and roll story, man, The Commitments is such a fantastic fantastic movie, man. It's great. And there's still songs that I like, and it's like American rock and roll classic songs, soul and R&B that they're covering, but I still play songs that I learned from that movie, and people will be like, why is that in your set? And I'll tell them, I'm like, man, I learned it because of The Commitments. And then they're like, oh, that's great, and so there's anyway, very cool trip, man. Really cool. I'm glad you got to do that. I am jealous. Color me jealous, man.
I was getting worried by Sunday that we weren't going to find, trad music, which is the traditional with the Ilium pipes and the fiddle and a
mandolin.
And then coming upon this place, and we got seats. It was right next to this. It was before they started. I didn't know that there was actually going to be a band, but we got this table like right next to this tiny little stage in this pub.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I was like, I had to like make sure that I wasn't bumping into the guy next to me.
Yeah.
Who had a whole array of tin whistles and pipes and stuff like that. So right in the middle, and then just the dancing. I mean, there was like an area right in front of the band that was open for a little bit, and then once people started to feel it, it became a terrific atmosphere. It was just so fun. What a great place and a great atmosphere. I think if I ever go back, I'll probably go to the west coast of Ireland.
Okay.
But it was great to go to Dublin. Loved it.
Oh, cool, man. I'm glad you guys got to do that. And like you say, go do it while you can and while you're young, and have the I said that like I'm the old man, like while we're young and we have the energy to do it,
Right, yes. It was touch and go. I mean, I didn't know if I couldn't sleep on the plane going over. That's for sure.
Oh, so you're just exhausted, huh? You're just running on fumes.
And I'm still trying to get my clock back in order.
Yeah.
I've been up for like 3 hours already today.
No wonder you're all on point this morning.
Still almost didn't make it to the show.
We got it.
Yes. How about you? What was your week like? What's your one thing?
Well, I concluded the third week of family stuff. So we had Kelly's reunions, but my dad was here this week visiting from Jacksonville, Florida, and we hadn't.
Nice.
It's sad to say, but it's true. We hadn't seen each other in 2 years, so it was really
wow.
I know, and it's not because we're like estranged or there's anything wrong. Like, we both like our routines, we both get going, but we also both think like, we'll catch up soon. I don't know, we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
You know, and time just goes by, and so it was really good to see my dad. It was cool to have Dad and Charlie and Kelly have time together, and he's a really talented guitarist and musician. So like it's funny because it'll remind me of like being like a kid when I was just learning chords. Like I would have to play rhythm for him, so because he could finally have somebody so that he could take the solos and stuff. Because you can't really just take the solos when you're by yourself. That's, I mean, you can, but that sounds ridiculous, you know. So it was this is okay, adios. So it was kind of a funny a fun time to enjoy ourselves and just you know, just get back to being a dad and a kid sometimes. And you know, I've said like this has been kind of the running theme. This is just the year of like doing what I do. I don't want to move. I don't want to buy a new car wash. I don't want to renovate a facility. I just want to run a business. I want to have a summertime. I want to have family time. So it was good. You know, this has been a really packed summer for me. You've been one-upping me all along, but it's been a really cool action-packed summer. So that, and nothing like you know, super insightful. I was just happy. It was just nice to spend time with my father, take a little bit of time off of the other stuff, and have it be all right. Like moving here since I got here has almost been like a panicked, frenetic pace, because I'm just terrified that this whole like experiment isn't going to work. And like, there's 3 years that have gone by of it working. I guess it's doing okay. Yeah. You know, like it was like, this has been the conscious summer of being like, you got this. It's here. All right. It's going, it's cooking, do the thing. You can be a family guy. You could be a husband, a father, a son. So we still got a few things on the docket. We're going to me and Charlie this weekend. We're going to SummerSlam, one of the big four. WWE.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. We got 2 days of SummerSlam tickets here in Minneapolis, and then I vend the following weekend, and then 2 weeks from this weekend, Joe, you and me, we hit the big time in Daytona, my man.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
How about that?
You got a busy schedule coming up. Yeah.
Right. I'm very excited. And again, not quite going off to Dublin, but I get back from Daytona. I've got 1 day to catch up on all the chores that I let slide when I go to Daytona. And then we head off to a lake for 5 days where I will proceed to disconnect again for just a little bit. And then I got to get back. You know, Charlie's going to be going back to school. Reality starts. I'll be broke by then. I will have spent all the money that I've accumulated in my fine first half of the year, and I'll have to get back to work and back to business. So I'm excited for it. So I'm really looking forward to Daytona. I hope if you all are going, that you guys come hang out. I will be. I didn't book anything specifically for you, Joe. I did make a promise to Vision Racks and Cages. Vision will be there in Daytona. I'll be at the Vision booth setting up Friday afternoon with them. And then Saturday, Joe and I have a little appearance over at Vision. We'll do some filming there. Joe, you could instead of checking out the animals, you could check out some high-end innovative equipment from Vision Cages and Racks, man. You're going to enjoy it.
Okay, cool. Great. I'm looking forward to it. That's good.
Yeah. Along with hanging out with everybody and catching up with everybody. It'll be great, man. I'm excited. Now, did Chelsea decide that she's in or not? Is she coming?
I think she's going to play it by ear. I'm not sure. We haven't. I think we're trying to get past. That's an easy thing.
You're right. Yeah, you got all the other stuff to figure out
just first. Trying to get through the next, and we have a final weekend. I mean, when we flew back from Dublin, we were like, I can't believe we did that. I can't believe we've done all of this. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So we've got
you got some
we've got
this
weekend, and we've got this weekend. We get through that, and then I think she'll decide whether or not, probably by next week, I'll have an answer whether or not you'll see your old friend.
All right. Well, I hope I do. It'd be cool to see Chelsea, but if not, I get it. Well, that just means we have to book another rendezvous somewhere. You know. Yeah, you know what? I should put some work into it this week. I need to get a schedule. Like, I think on Saturday we're going to bop around to several different advertisers' booths. If people want to come hang out and meet us at Daytona, we'll do that. And then we'll just have a chance to catch up with a bunch of old friends, and that'll be how we schedule that. So I'll put that schedule together this week, and it'll be loose and fun. Like, it's just not, but it's the projected goal kind of deal,
I don't need to be up early, do
I? No, I can assure you. Matter of fact, I can assure you that we won't even need to stand in line. I got some vendor badges worked out for us.
Really?
I know a couple people here and there, and we're gonna go ahead and bypass the that formality of the event. Yes, sir.
Sounds good, man.
We don't even have to get up early to beat the line or anything. We'll just go right on in. All right.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. I'm actually looking forward to this this weekend. We have this. We're moving Aiden into Buffalo, then we're driving back through Asheville, North Carolina, and we're going to stop in there, and we're going to see a band and go to a concert outside. It's going to be great. I can't wait. It'll be fun.
What venue are you going to in Asheville? Is it one of the breweries?
It's outdoor. It's one of the outdoor breweries. It's a burial forestry camp or something like that. We're going to see a Broken Social Scene.
Okay.
It's just like a little bit south of. It's like by the Biltmore, south of downtown.
Oh yeah. Well, cool. You guys know it's an awesome town. I love Asheville. You want to check out a cool ball python, Joe?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
The coolest ball python in the world, always brought to you by Heart of the Python. I don't know if you got the news, Joe. Bill and Kate Peaver from Heart of the Python, they said, you know what? This has been a pretty good run. Let's do it again. They're going to stick around for another year with us, man.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
How about that, man? So Heart of the Python is Bill and Kate Peaver out in Massachusetts, and they always bring you the coolest ball python in the world. It's a family affair. I got some updated notes from them. Kate is working the Monarch and Puzzle project. Bill has got some Mandarin and Rainbow stuff cooking. Those have become like his evolution of the projects that he's working on. And I think I saw on Instagram that Bill's got some Mandarin on the ground. And then the girls are working Banana Pied and Clown. So cool family affair. Check this out. They're going to be busy. Remember, they're in Massachusetts. They're vending both the Southeast Reptile Expo this weekend down in Duluth, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta at Southeast Reptile Expo. That's this weekend. And then in 2 weeks, they'll be back in Daytona, Florida, as the aforementioned event that we were just discussing. So go check out Heart of the Python. They're also working a project or an initiative where they breed for temperament. That's called the Heartline. You can check them out on TikTok for their Heartline projects. Joe, look at this coolest ball python in the world. Boom. Look at that thing.
They look at it.
What's that?
Crazy. It's nuts.
There's something going on right there, huh?
Holy crap. What is this thing?
Yeah, this is so it's a cool ball python. First off, let me get the credits right. This is from I was smart. I brought it up on the computer, but I had too many things up on the computer. This is from Mantooth Captive Bred Reptiles. Mantooth Captive Bred Reptiles. They're always doing cool stuff, by the way. I see their stuff on, I don't know them, but I see them on Instagram all the time. I wouldn't mind meeting them. They, too, are vending at Southeast Reptile Expo, and I believe they're actually bringing this snake there. So if anybody captures a picture of this snake, you can let them know it's the coolest ball python in the world. Man-tooth captive bred reptiles, I believe is what is the name.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
So first, this one caught my attention first because of how black the dark blacks on the top are.
Yeah.
And then like your eye goes immediately to that sort of center middle of the body portion of the snake. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, those are electric yellows with the blacks. And then those peaches are really just setting it off, man. And it's interesting to me because like the colors are right next to each other, but the yellows are inside the pattern and the peaches are outside the pattern. And I don't know, I got thinking about that.
That's not usually the
it maybe not in such stark contrast. And I try and like almost like turn things into a process or definition of like, why is this cool? And that was what I noticed. And it does happen that the patterns inside and outside are different colors. That's why we see them and we can identify them as patterns. But this one just sticks out. So then like my eye expands from that central part and I look, the head stamp, I had sort of assumed that this was some sort of clown. This is not a clown. It is het for clown. But this is just a fine collection of dominant traits stacked up to produce something really cool. So that was a neat thing that I figured out. And then I went backwards. I went down the animal and those super high definition patterns start breaking down and you get this cool, like almost like tie-dyed look at the back. So you're getting all of these things in one animal, man. I think it over delivers that way. I think it's very cool. What do you like about it or dislike? What are you thinking?
So I know what you're saying about the black and how dark it is, and then there's like a reverse, like the foreground is the peach and the yellow is in the middle of all of that. I really like the tail of it actually, where it kind of breaks down, or the end of it, I guess. Like, where does the tail start on a snake? Is that a stupid question?
Well, in
Do
general,
you actually say tail?
Yeah, in general, we can't. Yeah, right. In general, we can appreciate. We might not know exactly where it is. What the Supreme Court say? I know it when I see it. I know the tail. I know the tail when I see it. That's at the tail. Yes, sir. That's at the tail end.
Yeah, that reminds me of something that you'd see, in the Museum of Modern Art, like those kind of blending of colors and like the breakdown. Like I like the contrast in the center and towards, and I really like the head of this too. It's very cool. But that tail at the end where it's like a Pollock, like a Jackson Pollock kind of thing, kind of a smattering of different colors there at the end. That's what I really like about it.
Very cool. You brought some culture I know nothing of. Smattering of Jackson Pollock.
Come on, you know a Jackson Pollock.
You may as well be talking about wine tasting and the crap I say when I do that stuff.
Wait, what is this? We got some knowledge from BJ the Crow.
Yeah, he says anything past the cloaca, which that would definitely be the tail. I feel like the tail sort of starts a little sooner than that, but yeah, definitely. And Joe, are you familiar with the cloaca?
No, I don't know what that is.
Snakes have one hole, good, bad, and the ugly all come out of the hole. And
I figured that was what it was about.
That's a cloaca. There you go. So let me get some stat. I couldn't choose between stats and specs. Let's get some stats on this animal here. This is a spot nose for all the nerds watching like myself. Spot nose, black pastel, super orange dream, yellow belly are what we're seeing, and it is het for clown. So this in the clown format, I don't know if it's a male or a female. If it's a male, obviously you would breed it to a female and vice versa. But if it's a male, that would be a powerhouse kind of banger to get going into a clown project, which is pretty cool. I also had a little chuckle to myself, Joe. We talk a lot about like lingo and shorthand sort of can help certainly define a language, but define a community. This is the perfect combination. All of these genes have an accepted shorthand. So instead of writing out on my notes, spot nose, black pastel, super orange dream, yellow belly, I was able to write SNBP SODYB. And I know exactly what that means. And I got it. That's what I had right here. I didn't have one gene that I had to completely spell out. I was able to use shorthand on all of those. So
does that spell out? So does that spell out something that you could pronounce? I didn't quite write them all down.
BPSN. No, there's no. You got to say it as letters or as the combos, you know. And you kind of put a little timing, you know, on your phone number, you say, everybody says the first 3 numbers and then you say the four numbers. It's kind of the same thing. You got to put a little cadence in there. BP, SN, SOD, or super orange dream, YB. And then, you know, people would know what those are.
Fan-damn-tastic.
Yeah. So, well, you and I, if he doesn't, I would think that this snake is, I don't know if it's for sale or not. It's been posted quite a lot and posted that it will be at Southeast Reptile Expo this week. But if it's not, Joe, you and I might see this in Daytona. If he's vending,
cool.
If he's vending Sear, I think I don't know if it's a he or she, they might be vending Daytona as well. We'll have to see. Maybe we could track down the coolest ball python in the world in person, man. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be great. I think there's going to be a lot of them there.
We're going to be overwhelmed with the coolness of the ball pythons. Yes, that is exactly right.
Maybe we can get some pictures of our own and use them every week.
Well, I got a couple in the hopper that could work.
Really?
You mean that we go find we find them ourselves?
We take the picture. Yeah.
Get a couple in the can, get like 10 weeks of cool ball pythons. There you go. Yeah. I like that idea. All right, guys, that is the coolest ball python in the world, brought to you by Heart of the Python. Go check them out. You know,
just to go back to this tail, it's not a controversy, it's a question.
Okay.
Would somebody say it's all tail? It just seems like all tail.
That's what some people say, and I get it.
People say all tail.
Yeah, well, and like
from the head, it starts at the head. It's all tail.
Yeah, but I asked myself too, like, what does it matter? Like, okay, the tail end. How about that? The region is the tail. All yeah. Right. Here's something. Actually, this is kind of neat, which made me. I had a doctor, a herpetologist, on the show on Tuesday night, a few weeks or a month back, Dr. David Penning, and David said, I asked him, like, why study snakes? What's the point? You know, we're a very kind of Ayn Rand focused question. You know, what's the point? What are you producing? What's going on here? Kind of thing. Why would you do this? Well, and he had an intriguing idea. He said, well, because you don't know what you're going to find. He said this whole drug category of Ozempic came from studying Gila monsters. How about that? That was a great answer. I thought that was a great answer. But more importantly, to the question of the tail, he said, I said, what are things that like keep you up at night as a studier of snakes? And he said, what keeps me up is that within the same, in humans, we have the exact same number, like to the exact number. You and I have the same number of muscles. We have the same number of bones. We are constructed in a way that is universal to humans. And if we're not, it's a deformity and there's a challenge. I said, yeah, of course, we wouldn't go around. He says it's not the case with snakes. Ball pythons from the same litter, from the same set of genetics, if you turn over their belly and you count their scales, they can have different number of scales. Which is but even more interesting is that each one of those scales corresponds to the number of vertebrae that they have. So snakes within the same siblings, the same clutch, the same genetic safe space that is completely functional, can have a different number of vertebrae. Can you imagine if you and me were like, well, I got 5 more than you, Joe?
Right. Yeah.
And to correspond with that, for each vertebrae, there's some, I don't know the number, but it was a lot. There was some corresponding number of extra muscles. So like when you start saying where does the tail start and end, then you get into these cool things of like, well, maybe you define it by how many vertebrae back from the end, or, you know, and then you start going, wait,
that was his answer. That was his answer to that question, was that in the same clutch, there's different amounts of scales, different amounts of vertebrae, and different amounts of muscles.
Yes.
Yeah. And but in other animals, that would be considered a deformity.
Right.
Like,
we know how, we know how many vertebrae, we know how many, Timothy?
Jimothy, it's called.
The raccoon. Yes.
The raccoon,
yes.
Viral raccoon, right?
Yeah. So, right. Or like, you know, what were those books when we were kids? Like, who has more vertebrae, a giraffe or a human? And you learn that giraffes have less, they're just bigger, but it's defined. You know how many they have.
Right.
And he says they don't really know that. They don't know why that is. And they're just starting to study and learn that. And I have no proof that this is actually correlated, has anything to do with it. But as snake breeders, of course, we value females that produce more eggs. Given all the same set of work and equipment and time and effort, you would rather get 10 eggs than 5 eggs. I don't think that's even like, you know, unappreciative or disrespectful to the animal. That's the world, that is what we would prefer. And now I'm like, well, it seems to me the ones with the more vertebrae would have more space to build more eggs. So now I'm sitting here going with hatchlings, like, should I start counting the belly scales of these hatchlings to determine which ones I will hold back? I have not gone down that road, but
that's interesting.
Part of me wants to,
does anybody know that's listening? Does anybody know if there's a correlation there at all?
Or
if that work has even been done.
Yeah, I don't think the work, I asked him if the work had been done, because I brought that up, and even the doctor was like, no, I never thought of that. That might be worth, like if you crack that case and that is correlated, that would be a wild innovation. And I'm like, so that's just one example, but got me going.
But is there money in? Is there money in figuring that out?
Oh, if you could predict 10 eggs versus 5 eggs, hell yes, there's money in that.
Yeah. But for your own purposes, for your own breeding, not like you're not going to be financially compensated in some way for making that discovery.
The results of my business would be, though. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
There's not a Nobel Prize, if that's what you're getting to. No, there's no Nobel Prize at the end of that waiting for me. I hear that there's a little prize money for that, but I think it's cool. Like, so the theme that we kind of put together this week was that business keeps teaching you things, and I like the idea of just staying curious and asking tons of questions when I can learn from somebody. And that, it's funny the way that he put it when I asked him, like, what's an intriguing thing, or what's something that keeps you going. Now I'm like, why would that be the case? Like Mother Nature is interesting, but she often doesn't screw around. Like Mother Nature has her purposes for things. Why is this that way? And what's going on there? What's the difference there? I'll never probably solve it, but hopefully somebody smarter than me will. But it's just something that I've learned. Here I am at this, like truly, like, head down, uber focused for 6 years on these animals. And there's something plain as day sitting in broad daylight for me to discover that I never did. And I thought it was just wildly interesting.
Well, are there other theories as to why, like, I mean, okay, so you obviously you said the premise of this, of the advantage of this, is that you want more eggs to be produced.
I don't know that that's the advantage. That's my question. That would be my hypothesis. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so you're going along 6 years, you're breeding snakes, and you just go, oh, this one created 4, this one created 6, right? Yeah. Or what did you say, 5 and 10? Can it be 10 eggs?
Oh, it could be. I think I don't know what the official record, or if there's a record of a record. I have heard up to like 12 to 14. I've had a female lay 11 eggs before.
Okay, 11 is your top. So
yeah,
but when this happens, and this happens, like you said, you're doing this throughout the year. So when this happens and you get 3 eggs, do you go, "Oh, I guess that's just how it is"? Like up until this point, you just kind of go, "I guess that's just how it is."
You're just like, oh, dang.
Nobody has done, well, this one created 3, this one created 11. Now, here's another question. Over time, does the amount of eggs change that are produced from that female?
It does vary. You'll see a lot of female breeders advertised as like, this one's a big egg layer kind of thing. But again, like the coolest thing, but also sort of the downfall of our world is it's the Wild West, man. Documentation, really up until companies like Husbandry.pro emerged 5 years ago, maybe, where they were predominant. Documentation, it was on legal pads and still is. Some of the best breeders in the world that I know of are still, and they're the old timers. So like, I'm not relearning all this. This is what I do. How you think I got here? I don't need all that crap. And like, I still look over, it's been sitting here for 3 years leaning against the wall. I still have my dry erase board of my pairings. I need to just I don't want to erase it, of my pairings from 2021. And that was my records keeping. So it's all anecdotal. I wouldn't say at best. Handwritten documents are fine. But as far as like essential set of records and documentation and data, we really only have just a handful of years to go back on, and especially comparative data. Like, I bet it's all there in those legal notebooks, but who's going to sit there and go through 20 years of legal notebooks to correlate? And they certainly weren't counting the scales on the baby.
Right.
So, so certain females, you could look back and go, well, there was a 6 and 8, there was a 7 egg year. Okay. So this one averages 7 eggs. This little one, I only get 3 or 4 out of. So we kind of know that, but it's also not reliable. If it was, great genes will always trump the number of eggs. So you're never going to be like, she only ever gives me 4. She's got to go. If she's got the genes, man, you're breeding her. You want, you
right. Yeah.
There's always next year,
I understand. Yes. But it seems it seems like there's a big difference for a breeder between producing 12 new snakes and 3 new snakes. And I'm surprised that nobody has looked into the reasons why certain females produce more eggs and why they haven't. That would be something that there should be theories about that.
There's lots. There are. I mean, we sit around in private chats and text chains like we're alchemists in in medieval times. I mean, people are almost to a point of superstition about what to feed, how to feed, when to feed. This is how you get the eggs. There's a region, I think it's a locality, but I'm not 100% sure. But there's a variant of ball pythons that are called, and I don't know if this is a morph, if it's a region. They call them voltas, and they're huge. They're probably anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40% bigger than your typical ball python. Like, they're a big snake, but genetically they're the same. They're ball pythons. So there is this theory that you get a bunch of female voltas because they'll lay a whole lot of eggs for you. And
okay.
So there are these theories out there of what you go after and how you do this. Or I'm a card carrying member of this group. I believe that feeding females ASFs versus rats is where the action's at. Like, I think that when they actually lay or when they go through the process of reproduction, we just say they go. It's just a shortcut for all the details. It's the yada 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 of the snake world. They're gonna go this year, so they go. But I think that they go more frequently and regularly when you're feeding them ASFs. I think the eggs are healthier and bigger with ASFs. Their feed response is stronger with ASFs. So I feed, my female holdbacks, they only eat ASFs. That's it for me, man.
Okay. All right. So there are theories.
I have my own theory as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are theories, and that comes from, just people that you're talking to or your own experience, and you go, okay, ASF. But now this is interesting. Now, will you pursue this? Now, the whole premise of this is to basically stay curious and continue to learn, right? That's the whole idea, is that, if you're doing this, if there is some kind of code that you can crack, you're only going to crack that code if you stay curious and you're interested in learning and learning and learning.
Yeah. And I'll take it even further. Stay curious and learn, because whether you like it or not, your business is going to teach you whether you want to stay curious and whether you want to learn or not. It is going to force new knowledge upon you. So you may as well stay curious to try and get ahead of learning that knowledge. Like the cool stuff is the stuff that we're talking about, but then there's also the cliche we've all heard, which is like, man, there's always something. Yeah, that's business teaching you always something. You have always something new to learn, and there's always going to be a new a trick. And then one of the things I learned in management, but this applies to people in general, in the restaurants, the general population of a restaurant staff is largely 18 to 24-year-olds. That's it. That's the stage of life. Most people move on from restaurants. There's a couple people like me that are nuts and we become lifers. Most of them move on. I discovered, like, every 5 years, like, I was like feeling pretty, I was like, man, I got that. I am a good leader. I'm a good manager. I know my stuff. And then, like, the crew that I had would age out, and I would get this new batch of like 18 to 24-year-olds that were way different than the ones I just figured out. And then I felt like an idiot again. So I'd go through these cycles of like having it together and then feeling like an idiot. And it's customers are that way. And I don't mean that they're people change is what I mean. So even when you figure it out in 5 years, it's going to be different.
It's going to teach you.
Yeah. What's selling now is wildly different than what was selling 5 years ago. What it takes to sell right now is wildly different. People's goals of breeding, which is interesting because they're buying now with different goals than they had 5 years ago. But the hatchlings they're buying now are going to take 3 years to produce for them. So that's an interesting wrinkle in our world as well. Because if we're saying it's a 5-year cycle, that's 60% of that 5-year cycle. Are they making good enough decisions right now for what it's going to be in 3 or 5 years?
Yeah. The way that I can relate to this is like students.
You got to see the same. Same like, 18 to 24-year-olds, right?
There are semesters where I go in and I say, and it's semester to semester. I go, this really worked last semester. I'm going to do this again. I do it the exact same way. And they're like, this is old. We're not connected to this. Right. You gotta be better at this, pal. So yeah, it's every semester that you're in the classroom. You're trying to come up with a new way to connect. And if I consider that my business and the students, my customers, then yeah, the business is teaching me that I need to adapt, that I need to change. Now, unless there's some kind of, and professors do this, and I'm sure that this industry does this, there are people who are holding on to the same way of doing things over and over and over again. And you have a supply of customers who need to do this and get through, their education to get to that thing. But are they really learning? Are you really meeting your mission if you're staying stagnant for years and years and years and years? No, you're not growing. You're not really meeting your mission.
That's a really interesting point, though, because there's a couple of these guys that are total icons and have been total mentors to me. and had zero interest in all this get to know a customer. Sales are different than they were. Use technology. They do it their way. They, but I think they've earned, I think you have to earn that. Like, are there typically it's an old person because they've earned it. Like, are there old professors that are like, you're just like, yeah, he's got his way and it's him. Like, he's a legend because of it, or she's a legend because of it. You know, Bob Dylan's never going to use pyro on his stage presence, right? Like, that is something you would typically say, but he's earned it. That's him. He's his own brand, I guess.
The problem,
go ahead.
The problem is that there are faculty members who think that they're that way, and that they can just go in and, like, I remember even being in college and going, this guy's not putting anything. This guy thinks he's so great, and his mind is so great that he doesn't have to put any effort or planning into entertaining or engaging his students. Like, there are too many people who think that they can just go in with their immense brains and go and say, I'm the best teacher or whatever. You're not meeting your mission that way. And people are going to be turned off of education then at that point.
I would put forth, let's forget the Bob Dylan analogy for a minute. That's a whole different category. Even some of these guys that have been at it for 30, 40 years, you know, I had a conversation with one not too long ago. To say that he hasn't changed or won't change, there's certain aspects and processes, probably not, but even he was talking about, Adam, the market's different. And so I said to him, I said, well, would you do this price on this batch if I wanted to make an investment in this project? And he laughed. And I for a minute, I was kind of annoyed, but he laughed and he goes, do you know how small the supply is? He goes, 3 years ago, I'd have done that deal. No question. He goes, right now, I don't have to discount anything. And I said, but that's not what I go, that's not what they're selling for. And he goes, they will. You watch, by the fourth quarter, these will sell at that price, and you might even be who buys them. Sure enough, I paid the man. I bought them. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah.
So like he's not changing in one way, but he's got so much life experience that a 3-year market swing also doesn't sway him. He's like, I've done this, man. I know what's up.
But also, like, the analogy between education and snake breeding is a little bit different because we're talking about a difference in product versus services, right?
That's true.
So
correct.
you can, so and if you're in the business if you're in the snake breeding business for a long time, you have cultivated a certain kind of product, and you're years ahead of people who are just getting into it. And by just getting into it, I'm talking about 6 years ago. You know,
right? So
you have cultivated this product, and people know your product, and people like your product. If you continue to cultivate that product, that's going to be okay. And you don't, maybe the urge or the need to change or the need to learn is less urgent or less necessary.
Yeah, but even like I say, that was even like undercover learning. Like, he's still staying curious. He's still keeping an eye. He still knows what's up. And like, I also, what I learned from that was there will be a point where your own confidence comes from, like, I used to say on stage, I don't get stage fright if I'm confident. Confident is like, charisma is the product. So that's why you rehearse. That's why you get good. You don't get scared of being on stage if you're confident. He's done it enough. He's so confident that he wasn't interested in a sizable amount of money because it wasn't the size of the money that he wanted. And he was confident to go, hey, we're friends. This is a great product. I'm down. You can have it or you can not have it, but I know good and well at this price, somebody's going to have it. And he was so confident that I said, yeah, I want to make this investment. I will take that batch, kind of thing. So like, that gave me like personal goals of, because you go through this short-term like excitement and panic. Oh, I had this great sale. Fantastic. Oh, I haven't sold anything in 3 weeks. I better sell it right. 3 weeks through that. This guy's talking quarters and months, not to mention 3-year cycles, you know? So, I think the business teaching you is kind of a cool angle to look at, both from cool things, counting scales, to less exciting things of market cycles and economics. It's to teach. Well, we did it, Joe. We've come to the end of another episode here.
Yeah. Great conversation. Thanks so much. And thanks for the chat, everybody in here. And, thanks. This is every Thursday morning we get together. So come back if this is your first time plugging in here every Thursday morning at 7:30 Eastern time.
Go have fun. It's our like unofficial season kickoff with the first of the big shows starting. Southeast Reptile Expo this weekend, Daytona in a few weeks, and then we're off to the races to Tinley in October. I go to Canada, Toronto for a show in September. I'm pretty pumped, guys. Go have fun out there. Travel safe. Keep those animals safe. Keep yourself safe. See you guys. Same place, same time next week. Adios.
Everybody wants the outcome. Very few will go through the process.
When you think about someone living their dream, I am living my dream.
Your business model isn't working. You've got to change your model.
You might be all by yourself on that route, but the view's pretty damn good from there.
New breeders have no idea how long 2 years is. Imagine 3 years, even 10 years.
Stop chasing other people's dreams. Make your own.
When the going gets weird, the weird turn pro.